capability maturity model. So in this particular topic, we will be focusing on three major subtopics. One is what is CMM? That is, what is capability maturity model, right? Why we are actually going for this capability maturity model? What is the need for this, right? And then we'll be discussing about some basic concept, right? We'll be discussing about some basic concept. That is what it is called as the process maturity concepts, right? Basic concepts we'll be discussing in that. And after that, we'll be discussing about the levels. There are some levels, level 1, level 2, level 3, up to level 5 is there. So we'll be discussing about the capability maturity model levels, right? So these three things we'll be focusing on this particular topic. Okay, fine. So what is a CMM, right? So before starting into the topic, before introducing this topic, right, let us discuss why CMM. What is the need for the CMM, right? Okay, so suppose you are going to start a company, a software company, right? And you have to say tell that your company, your software company, is the best company, right? It's the best company to deliver the software products, right? So how will you evaluate it? What is the standard you are actually following? You have to convince. You have to convince the what do you say, the clients or the customer that your company is the best company. How will you prove that, right? So what standard you are following? So that is what actually is shown in CMM. Let us take an example, right? Let us take an example. So consider as a hotel, right? You are going to stay in a hotel, right? Okay, you have a minimal fund. You have a minimal, very less amount you're having. You have a minimal fund. So what you will be prefer? You will go for 1-star, 2-star hotel, or say 3-star hotel, right? So you only, only with the help of that minimum amount, right? Which is the affordable hotel, right? That you will be identifying it, and you will be going there and you will be staying, right? Anyway, you can be able to stay there, right? But the quality, the neatness, or say the customer service, all these things are minimal only because it is a low-level standard hotels, right? Okay, fine. So if you have a affordable amount, right? So if you have an affordable amount, so you can prefer for 4-star hotel or a 5-star hotel. If you are rich enough, right? You have more money, then you can go for, say, what is that? A 7-star hotel or more than that, right? So here, so based on the quality and the service, your levels is increasing, right? The hotel level is increasing. 1, 2, 3-star hotel, 4-star hotel, 5-star hotel, 7-star hotel, likewise, right? So likewise, in your software company, right? You every levels, right? You will be delivering the software. That is a requirement, right? You have to deliver the software, but what is the quality in that, right? What is the customer service in that? Whether you will be delivering the software in the correct time, right? On that particular schedule, you will be able to deliver the software. So that standard you have to maintain. So what is that standard? If it is level 1, you will be maintaining a standard. If it is level 2, you will be maintaining in some advanced standard, right? Level 3, some more advanced. Level 4, level 5. Likewise, in each levels, you will be standardizing yourself in an advanced way. Some benchmark will be there. That is what is called as the CMM. So CMM is not nothing but it is a capability maturity model. So you are actually giving a maturity level for a software company. Okay, that is what is called as CMM. That is capability maturity model, right? Fine. The first thing you should keep in mind is this CMM is not a software process model, or in other words, it is not a software lifecycle model. Please keep this in mind. It's very important. CMM is not a software process model. Okay, fine. So this CMM is developed by Software Engineering Institute of Carnegie Mellon University, right? So this is developed by Software Engineering Institute. It is also called as SEI CMM. SEI means Software Engineering Institute. CMM means Capability Maturity Model. Okay, so CMM is used to benchmark the maturity of an organization software process. So a benchmark is given. Based on what benchmark? Maturity, right? A benchmark is actually identified and fixed based on the maturity of an organization software process. Got it? Okay, fine. So furthermore, theoretical discussions, right? This CMM describes an evolutionary improvement path for software organization from an ad hoc, immature process to a mature discipline one, right? Say if you're starting a company, right, you'll be developing a software, you'll be delivering the software, but in an immature way, right? Right? You won't be having a good process, or you won't be having much what do you say employees, right? You will be depending on only one employee. So because of that employee, right, you will be the delivery date of the software may be increasing, right? Or you'll be developing for longer time, right? So that is what is called as the ad hoc or immature process. So from that immature process to a mature disciplined one, right? So that advanced, that is what I discussed in the previous slide, right? Advancement in each levels, that is called as the maturity, right? So you are moving your immature process to a mature process, a disciplined one. So each levels your maturity will be increasing, right? The maturity will be increasing. That is what is called as the CMM, right? Okay, develops or describes an evolutionary improvement path for software organization from an ad hoc, immature process to a mature, disciplined one. Got it? Okay, fine. So the next point is it provides a guidance on how to gain control of processes for developing and maintaining the software. How to gain the control, right? Say, for example, say you are doing some requirement analysis, you are doing some design analysis, right? So while doing the design, right, you should have a control. Say, for example, so if your project life cycle, your project duration is say 1 month, right? You are taking 5 days for requirement analysis and 10 days for design, right? Then it is too much of time taken for design, right? 10 days. So you have to analyze, right? You have to tell that it should be 5 days, should be completed in 5 days, likewise, right? So how to gain control of process for developing and maintaining the software, right? You should have some control in each step, right? That is what it is, providing a guidance on how to gain control of process for developing and maintaining the software. Then how to evolve towards a culture of software engineering and management excellence, right? So how to evolve? So if you are facing, you have developed the software, but you have faced some issues. So, for example, say you have taken too much of time in the design. You may have taken too much of time in development, right? So how to control that? So how to solve that particular issue in the next project, right? So how to evolve towards an culture of software engineering and management excellence, right? How to do it more efficient in the next upcoming projects, right? So that is what it is explained or created in the CMM. So CMM provides a guidance on 2 points. One is gain control of process, and second one is evolve towards a culture of software engineering and management excellence. That is what's called as the CMM. So these are the basic requirement, basic discussion on CMM. So CMM is what? So identifying the maturity level of each company, benchmarking the levels of company or an organization, right? That is what is called as the CMM, capability maturity model. Fine. So the next is actually process maturity concepts. So what is a process maturity concept? So there are some basic terms in the maturity, I mean capability maturity model, right? Capability maturity model, right? So that we are going to discuss in detail, right? Okay. So the first one is software process. So this particular term we already discussed in detail in the first module, right? The first module we discussed it. What is a software process? A set of activities. What are the activities? The activities can be called as a project plan, design document, coding, testing, user manuals, right? So that is the last module that we discussed about requirement, project plan, design specification, coding, test case, deployment, maintenance. So there are some set of activities, right? So that is called as the software process, which we have already discussed. So software process is a set of activities, methods, practices, and transformations that people use to develop and maintain software products is called as the software process. Okay. The next term is actually software process capability. So here the new term capability comes into this particular picture, right? What is the capability? It describes the range of expected results that can be achieved by following a software process. Say, for example, we are going to use a waterfall model. By using waterfall model, we will be getting such a kind of expected results. If you are using some other method, we will be able to get some other expected results, right? Say, for example, prototyping, or say, for example, it's an incremental model. So in each increment, the the customer will be able to see the software progress, right? The software progress will be seen by the customer, right? But in the waterfall model, only at the end of the deployment or maintenance, right, the customer will be able to see the software. So that is what is called as a software process capability. Describe the range of expected results that can be achieved by following a software process, right? The capability it is showing. Another one is software capability means of predicting the most likely outcomes to be expected from the next software project the organization undertakes, right? Say, for example, in previous project, right, we have attained some outcomes, right? So likewise, with the help of the software process model, we will be able to get, or we will be able to predict that. Predict means we can able to identify, we can able to judge. Okay, we will be able to get a good outcome, right, in the next upcoming project when we are actually referring the previous project which we have completed, right? So it means of predicting the most likely outcomes to be expected from the next software project the organization undertakes, right? So the software process capability means with the help of a particular software process, what is the expected result, right? That is the capability. And then we can able to create an outcome, right? We are able to create some set of outcomes, right? Where what we can do is where with the help of the previously completed project, we can able to identify what is the outcome to be expected, right, for the future projects, right? That we can able to identify it. That is what is called as a capability, right? Software process capability can be discussed in two ways, which we have discussed now, right? The range of expected results and most likely outcomes, right? Most likely outcomes. Fine. These are the software process capability. Then the third one is software process performance. So actual results achieved by following a software process. So performance, how you are evaluating the performance, the actual results, right? Actual results. So you have followed this process, that is, say, for example, agile methodology or agile process, or spiral model or spiral process, right? So that because of following that process, what is the actual result you have attained? That is what is called as the software process performance. Okay, and then finally, it is the software process maturity. In what extent to which a specific process is explicitly defined, managed, measured, controlled, and effective, right? So you have followed a specific process, and with the help of the specific process, you can able to create a well-defined software process, a managed software process, a measured software process, a controlled and effective software process, right? That is what is called as the software maturity, right? Right. So you can able to define because you have so much of experience, right? So previously you have done so many software products, and you have the experience, right? You have the experience. I mean, the company has the experience in delivering so many super products, right? Based on that, you will be able to create a well-defined, managed, measured, controlled, and effective software process, right? That is what is called as the software process maturity. It implies the potential growth in capability, right? How you are growing, how the company is growing. That is what I discussed just now, right? Previous year, how many products you have completed, and what is the method you have created and used, and how it is well defined, managed, measured, and controlled, and effective, right? So how your company is growing, how the organization is growing, it implies the software process maturity implies the potential growth in capability. Potential growth in capability. What is capability? Previously discussed, right? The the range of expected results and the outcomes. That is what the capability. So here maturity represents how potential you are growing, how potential the organization is growing in terms of capability, right? In terms of capability, that is what is called as a software process maturity. So 4 concepts we have discussed, right? 4 concepts we have discussed. One is software process, we already know. The first model we have discussed, right? And the second is the software process capability. Capability means what? It is the range of expected results and the most likely outcomes, right? The third one is the software process performance, means the actual results, right? 4, software process maturity. It means that it is actually maturity in the sense it is actually showing the potential growth in capability. It is showing the potential growth in capability. That is what is called as software process maturity, right? So you got it, right? All the 4 basic concepts, right? Fine. So this Software Engineering Institute, that is capability maturity model, SEICMM, can be used in 2 ways. One is capability evaluation. The second one is software process assessment. So these 2 ways the CMM can be used, right? Capability, we have discussed about what is capability, right? So capability evaluation means it provides a way to access the software process capability, right? It provides a way to access the software process capability, right? So what is a software process capability? That is what we discussed here, right? Range of expected results and most likely outcomes. So it provides a way to access the software process capability. That is what is called as capability evaluation. And software process assessment means used by an organization to improve the process capability, right? The software process maturity is also called as software process assessment. And this is also called as, right, assessment or maturity. Okay, both are same, right? So software process maturity or assessment, or software process maturity or assessment or maturity. So it is used by an organization to improve the process capability, right? That is what is called as the software process assessment or maturity, right? Fine. As I already told, CMM levels, you have 5 levels, right? Initial, repeatable, defined, managed, and optimized, right? So 5 levels are there, the maturity levels are there, right? Okay. So the first one is initial level, right? And the initial level, so each level, say for example, each level is showing some advancement, right? Right. Initial level, you'll be having you are following a particular process, right? And you are attaining some results, and based on that particular experience, you are moving to the next level, that is the repeatable level. Based on the previously attained experience, you are repeating it, right? And then from repeatable level, you are moving to a defined level because you have done some few projects, right? So you'll be having some good experience. So based on that, you're creating a standard. You're creating a standard or a consistent process. That is what is called as the defined level, right? And fourth one is managed. So, since you have defined, right, you will be able to manage it. If there is any problem while developing a project, right, you should be able to manage it. So that is what is called as the managed level. That is the predictable process, right? And finally, optimizing. So there should not be any issues in any of the process, right? Everything should be optimized. Continuously improving process, it should be perfect, right? So optimized in the sense, right, you'll be previously you have attained some excellence, right? And further you are optimizing that particular process, and then you are getting some another excellent level, right? Next level of excellence, right? So that is what is optimizing. So each and every levels you are actually growing. The company, the organization is growing. That is what is shown in the CMM levels. We'll discuss one by one in detail, don't worry. Level 1. So what is the level 1, right? So initial level, say for example, you have started a company, and of course your company, when you started a company, it will be in the first level, level 1, okay? First level, right? Fine. So what you'll be doing, so you won't be having a bigger human resource, you'll be having only small human resource, right? And sometimes only 1 or 2 employees will be there in the company. and most of the time you will be taken help from the freelancers, right? Say for example, you have started a company, right? Yeah, a product what you will do, you will be having a limited resource, 1 or 2 resource. So you'll be giving that product to that particular person. There won't be any process. Is it right? There won't be any process. There won't be anything. But that person will be doing all the software process, requirement analysis. What is that? Design, development. What is that? Testing. Everything will be done, and a software product is produced. But there is no documentation will be provided. How the software is developed, how the software is evolved, right? That documentation won't be there in the CMM level 1, but it is actually developed, successfully developed. The software product will be successfully developed, but it is in the initial level. There won't be any documentation, right? And wide variation in the cost. Say for example, you are developing CRM, and the CTS Infosys, likewise, big companies are there, right? Same big companies. That companies also is developing some CRMs, right? So you'll be also, you'll be also able to develop a CRM software. They also developing a CRM software. So here, the things that you'll what is that? You will develop that software in say maybe 5,000 or 10,000 rupees, but they will be developing the software in say 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, right? So the cost is actually varying, but the products are somewhat similar, right? Wide variation in the cost, schedule, functionality, and quality targets, right? So all these things will be varying in the levels, right? So in level 1, there will be a wide variation of cost, schedule, functionality, and quality targets. So likewise, there are many points that is discussed in detail. In initial level, software process is characterized as ad hoc and occasionally even chaotic. That is what I told, right? It is in the ad hoc way. Ad hoc way means, right, you will be depending on only one particular resource, right? So there won't be any managed process, right? That particular person has to develop it, no other way. And based on his particular strength or skill level, the software will be delivered on the given time. Say, for example, 3 months, 4 months, the product will be developed. So the software process is characterized as ad hoc and occasionally even chaotic, right? It may be changing, right? It may be changing. Fine. Few processes are defined as success depends on individual effort. That is what I told. Based on the individual effort. So how much that person is actually putting the effort, right? So based on that effort, the processes are defined and the success depends on the individual effort, right? Only that individual effort, the individual person will be able to develop the product, and that success depend on that particular person, right? That's what I told now. At this level, frequently having difficulty making commitments that the staff can meet with an orderly process. Okay, and the product developed are often over budget and schedule. Is it right? Proper developed products developed are often over budget and schedule. Wide variations in cost. Say the over budget, right? So budget is not actually what is that? It's not a smaller budget, or it may be a higher budget. So the product developed are often over budget. For a particular person, right, you'll be giving so much of money to the particular person. Say, for example, your product cost is say 10,000 rupees. You have to give almost 90% of the amount to the particular person because he's a freelancer, right? You have to give. So it is over budget. What is your profit? Profit will be very less. That is why product developed are often over budget and schedule, right? Schedule is say he has to only that person is actually working, right? He has to work for a longer time. The schedule will be very bigger, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks. Likewise, the schedule will be longer, right? So product developed are often over budget and over schedule, right? Fine. Wide variation in cost, schedule, functionality, and quality. That's what I told now. There will be wide variation in cost, schedule, functionality, and quality targets. Finally, capability is a characteristics of individuals, not often the others. That's what I told here. In initial level 1, there won't be any documents, right? If you have completed a product, you will be getting a product. You'll be able to deliver the product. But how you have done that product, there won't be any documents. That is what is there in the level 1. Level 1 is the initial level. You have started a company and you will be able to deliver a software product without documentation, right? So now, the second one is repeatable. So what is repeatable? So repeatable means you have already, for example, say you already created a product, say web development, right? You have done a web development project that is successful, right? So what you will do, you will take that particular successful product, right? I mean, that is taken as a reference. So I have done a successful product. So I will be following the same process what I have done there, right? So that is what is called as a repeatable. So you are repeating the same process. Why you are repeating it? Because the previously done project is successful. Say I have shown a diagram here. This is a website. This is a web development project, right? This is successful. The process which you have followed in this particular successful product will be again reused or repeated, right? Again repeated in the next project, right? That is why I shown the arrow mark, right? The same process is again repeated here, right? So basic process management processes are established to track cost, schedule, and functionality. This is a basic process management, that is the reused one, right? Which are used to establish to track cost, schedule, and functionality. Right, the necessary project discipline is in place to repeat earlier successes. That's what I told. The necessary process discipline is in place to repeat earlier success, previously successful projects. Right, you are adopting that. Right, that is why it is called as repeating. Right, you are adopting that same process. That is, repeat the earlier successes on projects with similar applications. Right, if this is a web development. If again you will be getting another web development project, and what you are doing, you are following the same process, right? Following the same process. So realistic project commitments based on results observed on previous projects. You will be identifying the commitments. How you are identifying the commitments? Based on the results observed on previous projects. And software product standards are defined and faithfully followed, right? The software product standards are defined and faithfully followed because you are following the same process, right? Process may differ between projects, right? Process may differ because here you may be having some features in web, in another you may be having different features, right? So processes may differ between projects. Process is disciplined. The process will be also disciplined. Earlier success can be repeated. So previously you successfully developed this project. So now also you will be able to release a successful project. So repeatable means you are taking the reference of the previous project and you are following in the current project. This kind of process is called as the CMM level 2 companies. Right? CMM level 2 companies. Right? In level 3, so what is there in level 3? It is defined. Right? It is defined. So at this time, right, you have so much of experience. Your organization maybe have so much of experience. So based on the experience, right, what you will be doing is that you'll be getting the details of different kind of applications, right? Say for example, here I have shown 4 diagrams. The first one is the web development project. Second is an Android project. This is an iOS project. Third one is the iOS project. And fourth one is a, say, application, a simple desktop application, right? So likewise, you have wide variety of different software applications or software products. So at this level, what you're doing is the software process for both management and engineering activities are well defined, right? As you have number of products available, you have completed number of products, you'll be having an idea, okay, this is the software process. We have to follow this particular process, right? So that actually it is well defined and documented. From now onwards, right, what you are doing is, I mean, from level 3 onwards, what you're doing is the processes are correctly, properly documented, defined and documented. That is what is called as defined one. That is the CMM level 3 is the defined one, right? You have the well-defined and documented activities, right? In level 4, managed, right? Say for example, see, even though you have many experience, right? So many products you have completed, there may be some risks, right? There may be some risks. Say for example, I've shown a diagram here, right? You are developing a software, At the step 3, right? Step 3, what happens is it is actually taking too much of time, right? But you have to achieve this level. You have to achieve this level, right? Say for example, the higher level, right? So, but you have to travel a lot, right? But you may be thinking that okay, the time taken to complete the process will be more, right? But you have the date at this particular level, right? So what you are going to do is you are going to analyze. So what is the statistical information of it? How many resources are required? How many skilled persons are required? So hire them immediately, hire them, and then fasten the project. Complete the project as per the delivery date. Based on the delivery date, you have to deliver it. So you are identifying a issue or risk, right? That the project won't be able to deliver on time, right? So what you're doing is you are hiring some skilled people and you are managing it to deliver the software on time. So that is what is called as the managed software product. That is called as the managed software product. Okay, so in this particular level, work is quantitatively controlled. Work is quantitatively controlled. You are monitoring each and every step, right? And you are quantitatively monitoring it and you are controlling it, right? That is what is done in the CMM level 4. So we can focus in two levels, two areas: software quality management and quantitative process management, right? In software quality management, management can effectively control the software development effort using the precise measurement. You'll be having some measurement, right? Okay, precise measurement, right? Based on that, you'll be developing the software. There won't be any delay. It will go on the required schedule, right? The required schedule, you'll be able to deliver the software. At this level, a set of quantitative goals or quantitative quality goals for both software process and maintenance will be there, right? So at this level, you will be creating a set of quantitative quality goals and quantity goals for both software process and maintenance, right? And the next one is that quantitative process management. So at this level, the performance of the process is controlled using the statistical and other quantitative techniques, right? So you'll be using some statistical methods based on the previous experience, right? You'll be using some statistical methods and you'll be identifying it and you'll be improving the performance, right? You'll be improving the performance. So that is why it's called as managed, right? Based on the quantitative analysis, you are managing the risk issues, right? The risks, right? You are managing. That is what is called as the CMM level 4 managed one, right? And in level 5 is called as the optimizing. See, you have the experience, you have all the managing skills, everything you have attained, right? So now your organization is in the level 5. It means that you are refining the best. For example, now you have done some excellent product, right? You want to more optimizing it to get an furthermore excellent product, right? So likewise, you are going to improving it. So for example, that product is actually version 0. That is the best product, right? Then you are changing some features and your performance increasing, and you are changing the version product to version 1.0, then version 2.0. What you are doing is you are optimizing it. In each and every steps, you are optimizing it. So this optimizing level represents the continuous process improvement. So how the process is improved, how the process is continuously improved, right? It is a continuous process improvement is enabled by quantitative feedback from the process, right? And from piloting innovative ideas and technologies, right? You'll be getting some feedbacks, right, from the customers. The software is excellent, but furthermore, speed should be increased. So for that, what you have to do? You have to do some code review, find some ideas, again, try to improve the performance. I mean, increase the speed of the software, that is the performance of the software, right? So continuous improvement, you are doing it. That is what is done in the versioning, right? That is version 1.1, 1.2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3.0, like this, right? That is the optimizing one. So the another point is, goal is to prevent the occurrence of defects. So there should not be any defects. Once you are following the particular process based on the previous experience, right? Once you are following a process, right? That process should not create any defects. You should be as perfect, right? There should not be any defect. So the goal is to prevent the occurrence of defects, right? To prevent the occurrence of defects. And then data on process effectiveness used for cost benefit analysis of new technologies and proposed process change, right? Say you have done a process, right? You have done a project, software project, right? With the help of a technology, and it's going successful. It's very successful. But if you are using a new technology for the product, right? So it will be more efficient, right? So what you have to do is you should be able to adapt to a new technology, right? You should be able to adapt to a new technology with the help of the cost benefit analysis and do the process change and deliver the optimized software, right? So optimizing in the sense you are in the best level, and how you are going to improve furthermore. That is what is called as optimizing. So most of the companies, right? Most of the top MNCs like Infosys, CTS, say Wipro, all these companies are CMM level 5 companies, and they are in that particular level, right? So this is what your 5 levels of what is that capability maturity model, right? So what we have discussed till now is 3 topics we have discussed. One is why and what is CMM, and what is the need for CMM, and then we discussed about few concepts of maturity, process maturity, and then we discussed different CMM levels, right?